All right, so for thousands of years, a lot of us have thought of Buddhism as this really complex, heavy philosophy. But what if I told you the Buddha's biggest secret wasn't some complicated idea at all, but something you can actually do, like right now?
I mean, he was absolutely laser-focused. He wasn't really teaching a religion you had to believe in. He was teaching a problem that you could solve. And that problem is something called dukkha, and way more importantly, how to stop it.
And this, right here, is where so many people get it wrong. We have this image of monks meditating for years and years just to maybe, one day, feel okay. But the original teaching, it was all about feeling good immediately, and then just turning that feeling into a habit. So the big question is, how do we actually do that?
Well, to learn how to feel good, we first have to get super clear on what's making us feel bad in the first place. And the Buddha had this incredible analogy for it. It's all about seeing the danger before it hits you.
That arrow, he was talking about mental harm. See, most of us don't even realize these little arrows of our own negative thoughts and reactions are flying at us all day long. We just kind of stand there and take the hit, and we feel it as stress or anxiety or just plain old anger. And the name for that arrow is dukkha. Now, we often hear this translated as suffering, and that sounds so dramatic, right? But it's really more like a constant, low-grade background hum of dissatisfaction. It's that feeling that something just isn't quite right. And in our everyday lives, this isn't some big tragedy. It's all the little stings. It's feeling criticized by your boss, being disappointed when things don't go your way, or just that constant anxiety. It's all the little bits of friction that we've been taught we just have to put up with. Okay, so if that's the problem, what on earth is the solution? This is where we get to bust some of the biggest myths about what the Buddha was actually trying to teach us.
And this comparison is so important. The idea isn't to just throw your hands up and say, well, life is suffering. No way. It's to recognize that dissatisfaction pops up and you can step out of its way right now. You don't need to wait 30 years. You can change your state of mind in the very next breath.
And the tool for this is the Four Noble Truths. But please don't think of this as some dry religious doctrine. It's much more like a doctor's diagnosis. It's like, okay, here's the symptom, here's what's causing it, good news, it's totally curable. And here's the prescription. It's a super practical, repeatable process.
So, speaking of that doctor's analogy, let's take a look at the prescription itself. That fourth step, the path, it's not just a big list of rules. It's actually a unified skill that we can build through one single practice called anapanasati. This is the real how-to.
Now the key word here, the key word, is active. This is not about just passively watching your breath while your mind goes on a wild goose chase. The first part of that word, sati, it actually means remembering. It's the active skill of remembering to be present and to engage with what's happening.
That's the first step. Think about it. Where is your mind most of the time? It's usually off in the future, worrying, or stuck in the past, right? So the very first skill is just to remember, hey, come back. Come back to right here, right now.
And here's that active part again. By consciously deciding to take a long, deep breath, you're actively training your mind. You have to remember to do it, which builds that muscle of sati. And it gives your attention something wholesome to do instead of drifting off into negativity. And there's a direct physical effect happening here. A lot of what we call anxiety is just too much adrenaline pumping through our system. Taking these long, deep breaths literally helps burn off that adrenaline. It calms that tightness in your chest. It's a physical reset button.
It's really that simple. Because while you're putting all your focus on the feeling of that long breath filling your lungs, you literally can't also be focusing on that looping negative thought. You're replacing the unwholesome with the wholesome.
The Buddha often recommended finding a quiet place to practice, like in a forest, or even just an empty room. Why? Because when you get away from all the external noise of society, it makes it so much easier to hear the noise that's going on inside your own head. And that's always the first step to quieting it down.
Okay, now here is a super powerful tool you can use instantly, without even having to sit down and meditate. It's all about listening to the words you use, both out loud and, more importantly, in your own head.
The language we use totally reveals our underlying attitude. I'll try basically assumes you might fail. Yeah, I'll do that assumes you're going to succeed. But my favorite shift here is how you treat a wandering mind. Instead of getting mad, you just playfully say, aha, I see you. It completely changes the whole dynamic from a fight to a game.
Your words really do reveal your state of mind.
So if you want to change your state of mind, a great place to start is by changing your language. It's like a direct lever you can pull to shift your entire attitude.
And when you put this all together, the mindful breathing, the mindful language, it leads to this really profound shift. You start moving from being a victim of your thoughts and your circumstances to actually becoming the master of your own mind.
The Buddha called this a noble attitude. Not because it's fancy or better than anyone else, but because it's not the ordinary, default way of being. The ordinary way is to feel like life is just happening to you. The noble, or winner's attitude, is realizing, hey, I can handle this. I can choose to be happy no matter what.
Look, if you only take one single thing away from all of this, let it be this. You have a choice. You have a choice about which thoughts you're going to pay attention to. You have a choice about whether to stay stuck in dissatisfaction. The whole practice is just about remembering to make that choice again and again.
And this is the kind of mental state you can actually cultivate. It's not about denying reality or pretending problems don't exist. It's a deep internal confidence that no matter what life throws at you, you can handle it. Everything is okay because deep down, you are okay.
So, let's make this real, right now. Think of one of those nagging, unwholesome thoughts that pops up for you. What bit of winner language could you use the next time you see it? Because the practice, well, it starts right now.